Fast break basketball continues with the Chicago Bulls as they run the Denver Nuggets out of the gym tonight. We're going to be talking about the key takeaways from tonight's win. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so today, the Chicago Bulls beat the Denver Nuggets 129-119. And I think just the initial takeaways are the Chicago Bulls played fast. They got out into the fast break game and just really ran the Nuggets, I think, just out of the gym tonight, and just max effort once again from this young team as they are now 19-18 on the year as far as their road record. And so before we go ahead and jump into the key takeaways from tonight's game, wanted to remind you that 73% of you that watch are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you go ahead and you slam dunk on that subscribe button, as it means a lot to us here at Bulls Digest as we try to reach our end of the season subscriber goal. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the box score and look at the key takeaways from tonight's game. And so as we always start, we start these videos off with the MVPs of the night. So I have three MVPs. And so the first MVP of the night has to go to Coby White because, man, he had 37 points. He had 3 rebounds. He had 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. He was plus 16 in the plus minus box score, 11 of 22 from the field, 5 of 10 from downtown. And more importantly, he was 10 of 11 from the free throw line in 40 minutes. And I mean, Coby White was giving the Denver Nuggets the business out there. I mean, he was just giving people all kinds of moves to get downhill. And man, you just loved how free and how loose he played. I mean, he hit some deep three-pointers, I think twice in this game. He hit some shots that tied the game back up. Look, Coby White has been in his bag. And, man, it starts with him and just his ability to continue to keep scoring, because you know that defenses have adjusted. But Coby White saying, I know that you've adjusted to me and I'm still going to give you buckets. And so he leads the way there. And so my next MVP of the night is going to have to go to Josh Giddey. Look, Josh Giddey, once again, I think that he plays a fabulous game. And I like the way that Josh Giddey continues to pace himself, because he really started off, I think, kind of slow in this game. And then he really got it going in the third quarter. I think at one point he scored 10 points in that quarter. But, man, he just continued to get downhill, much like Coby White. Free throws, 8 of 10 tonight for Josh Giddey, and I think that that's really been the key for him as he's turned the page even more offensively this second half of the season, as he just continues to get downhill. He's drawing contact, and he's just making the free throws as well, and so shoots a great percentage tonight in 36 minutes. 26 points for him, 9 assists, had 8 rebounds. He had 1 block shot. I think the block shot came late, so that was pretty critical. Plus 10 in the plus minus box score. He was 8 of 11 from the field and 2 of 3 from downtown. I love the fact that, look, he had the confidence trailing Coby White on the fast break. He spots up, rises up, and knocks down the shot. That was just great confidence from Josh Giddey. And so, look, he has completely turned the corner as well, and this backcourt continues to lead the Chicago Bulls. So I've just got to give both of these guys a ton of credit. And so next, my next MVP on the night, it's going to have to go to Dalen Terry. Look, Dalen Terry, look, I am so impressed with Dalen Terry and his game tonight, man. And I mean, he is playing with just a whole bunch of juice out there. And when I say juice, I mean swagger. And so Dalen Terry, look, 14 points. He had 3 rebounds in this one. He was 2 assists, plus 8, 5 of 10 from the field, but 4 of 4 from downtown in 29 minutes. Look, this guy is knocking down 3-pointers at a high clip right now. And so I love it. Dalen Terry getting minutes, being a disruptor out there on the defensive end. And, man, he had a huge dunk. I'm going to get to this play where Kevin Hurerter throws a full-court chest pass to him, and he knocks a nice dunk in off the baseline. But, look, man, Dalen Terry playing with a ton of juice right now, so I loved his game tonight. He's my MVP number 3. And so next we're going to go ahead and just jump into the rest of the team. And just, again, just the effort was at a max level across the board for the Chicago Bulls. And so let's go ahead and start with Modest Buzelis. And so Modest Buzelis, 10 points in this game. He had 4 rebounds. He had a steal. He was 2 assists on the day, 2 blocks, -8, 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown in 24 minutes. And so I know he wasn't in there to close down the game. I'm glad to see that Billy Donovan kept Dalen Terry in the game. But what I loved about Modest Buzelis is the 2 blocks. And that is something that he leads this team with, his block shots. And I think once again, even though he doesn't have a huge game offensively like he did with the Lakers, you're seeing the signs of growth out there. And I've said this before, I think that he is going to be a very good defender in this league. Did he miss an assignment? Sure he did. But man, he's showing us a lot of individual tools here in year 1. And I just think that once he gets stronger, he is going to be tougher to get around. And he's already showing us that he could be a rim protector. So Modest Buzelis, I'm giving him a lot of credit for the block shots tonight. So I love that. Next up, Vooch. And so Vooch, 13.7 rebounds. He had 2 assists. He had 2 steals. He had 1 block. He was -6 in the plus-minus box score. And so, look, Vooch, 5 of 12 from the field in 29 minutes. And so it wasn't the greatest game for Vooch, but I do like the energy that I'm seeing from Vooch. The body language is a lot more different. And I think he's just accepting at this point in time, you have Josh Giddey, you have Coby White, they are cooking, and he's just, kind of getting the points as they come along. And he's not necessarily being a liability on the defensive end. I think he's out there trying and everything else. But I think the key takeaway from Vooch is just the energy level has just been a lot different. And so that's something that we certainly appreciate. Next up, Kevin Hurerter. So look, Kevin Hurerter, I know he didn't have the best game as far as scoring the basketball, but he did get a 3-point shot in. That's something that I think he struggled with since leaving Sacramento in this last game that we played them in. But still, 9 points today, 1 rebound, but you love the assist. He had 6 assists in this. He had 2 steals. He had a block. He was +8. And I liked Kevin Hurter's activity, even though he got his shot block going to the lane. That was a nice little crossover, though, too. And so, look, Kevin Hurerter, I like that he played with a little bit of juice today, too. And I love the chest pass ahead to Dalen Terry for the baseline dunk. So I'm going to give it to him for that one. Next up, Zac Collins. Look, Zac Collins didn't score in this one. Only played 4 minutes, man, but he was the biggest cheerleader on the sideline. I loved how he was giving the flex for Jalen Smith tonight, and that's what you love about Zac Collins. This guy has come in. He's really embraced his role, and even though he didn't get a chance to really play that much tonight, really wasn't in the rotation, you could feel his presence. Jalen Smith getting into the lineup, and so 14 points, 3 assists, 10 rebounds, +17. He was 6 of 8 from the field on 2 of 3 from downtown in 15 minutes. And so I'm just glad to see that he got off of the bench. And I'm glad to see that, Billy Donovan gave him the trust and getting him out there. And you just see exactly why Jalen Smith plays well with these guards. I believe that Josh Giddey hit him with a very nice pass on the break. And it was a good catch, too. He had to reach from behind and get it, and he finished the play. He also had a nice and one in this game. He was 2 of 3 from downtown, and so he played with a supreme confidence, even though he did not really play in some games. And so you love that about Jalen Smith. I really think that he's going to be a huge part for this team as we continue to move forward. Next up, Patrick Williams. And so Patrick Williams, 6 points on the night, 4 rebounds. He had 2 assists, a steal, a block shot, -4, 3 of 9 from the field, and 0 of 5 from downtown in 18 minutes. But I will give Patrick Williams maybe one of the plays of the game because he had a nice follow-up tip dunk that was kind of vicious, even though he missed the assignment because I think he had Dalen Terry ahead in the fast break. I'd have to go back and look at the tape again, but he missed him. And then, it was a miss, and he followed it up with some authority here. So I got to give Patrick Williams some credit there. And then next up with Julian Phillips. Look, you give Julian Phillips credit because he was a +10 in the plus-minus box score, didn't score, and only had 2 rebounds. So that just tells you all you need to know about Julian Phillips in 9 minutes of play. And so, once again, scrappy play from this team. They were down, and Jamal Murray was playing, I think, exceptional for the most part. He was kind of going at us, and so I like the response that we got. There was one play, too, where I think Josh Giddey kind of hops over DeAndre Jordan and gets a rebound there, and I think that really has been the symbol for the Chicago Bulls, man. They're just playing hard. They're playing just with tons of efforts. They don't care, how these players have been established in the league or whatnot. They're just going out there and competing, and this is something that you just have to love as a Chicago Bulls fan. And so next, we'll go ahead and move into just the team box score and looking at some of the key takeaways from that. And so let's start here with just the rebounding totals for the Chicago Bulls. Bring that back up. All right, and so with the rebounds, the Chicago Bulls get out-rebounded 52-43 by Denver, so they do a good job as far as rebounding the basketball tonight. The turnovers, now this I think was really good for the Chicago Bulls because Denver leads in turnovers tonight 12-10, and I think that there was one point in the fourth quarter where the Bulls just didn't turn the basketball over until late. I think that Dalen Terry, he had a turnover or two there late, but still, really taking care of the basketball. This is something that we have really struggled with throughout the season, so that was great to see. And then when it came down to the points in the paint, look, 58-56. I mean, the Denver Nuggets definitely had the size advantage, and so for the Chicago Bulls to hang in there and only get beat by 2 inside, that just lets you know how just intensive it was for the Chicago Bulls as far as getting downhill and attacking and getting paint touches and scoring. 8-5 as far as the steals were concerned. The Bulls lead in that department. And then this is, I think, the story of the game for the Chicago Bulls. 31-11 as far as Bulls in the fast breaks. Looks once again continuing to run down the court and play at this high tempo and get up three-point shots and everything else. And so it just seems like that this team is really settled in. They've got the identity. This is something that they wanted to instill into the training camp, and now we're starting to see that this team has just stayed true to this style, and it's really working out for them. And so with the field goal percentage, 49.5% from the field for the Bulls, 43.6 from downtown. Denver, 47.4 from the field, but only 30.6 from 3. So, look, this was a terrific game for the Chicago Bulls. Man, just a ton of effort, a lot of great stuff. 4-2 on this road trip. They're 8 of their last 10 games. They're over 500 on the road at 19-18. Jalen Smith had a big night off of the bench, which was great. Talked about just the efforts from Coby White and Josh Giddey. It really seems like that these guys are really figuring it out as a backcourt. And just super excited, man. So, let me know what the key takeaways are from this game. And once again, the Chicago Bulls come out, get this win against Denver. We got a tough one coming up here against the Lakers. I'm sure they are going to want to get their revenge here after we gave it to them on their home court. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. And as usual, go Bulls. And we will see you on the next one. All right, peace.